If you think I'm here to play around with you, you should leave now. If you decide to stay, that means you'll allow me in your energy, as is my intent, to create conditions that promote health, wealth, and abundance. So let's get started. Because you know we dominate these time constraints and heard. You get what you pay for. That's what I heard. This card, this is the money deck that I normally use, and maybe I'll start off with this money deck since it's ready. But the amount that you invest in something is the amount that you'll be able to withdraw. You can't withdraw from an account that you haven't deposited in. You get what you pay for. Okay. Everybody who's working is getting paid now. Angels, archangels, ancestors, and spirit guides. So we should still walk the highest path out here for the greatest good. Starting off with the most important thing I would suppose in this physical realm. What does the divine collective need to know most about finances? What do they need to know most to walk the highest path for the greatest good? Oh, I hear this already gave you the time and the place, so don't be shy. Come be the man I need. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Weekend sale, men and women up to 70% off. Huge decisions. I don't know. To me, the message that I channel was you get what you pay for. And when the cards slid, these cards were out, like were in it. Well, I know for sure this weekend sale card was like in that stack. And sometimes you think that you're getting a good deal or you're getting a bargain, but really that was the original worth. That was the original worth of the product. They just, put the product at the price that it was worth. So I think you need to be careful. You know what I mean? With going against your budget or this is a message that has more to do with you being the type of person who you can trust yourself. And if you tell yourself, this is what you're going to do, I'm going to save this amount of money until I get this amount of money in savings. I'm not going to do anything frivolous. I'm not going to do any extra thing. You say, oh, no, but this is a sale and I'll never be able to find it at this price again, right? Like, can you trust yourself? And that's what this is. You know what I mean? Can you be bought, sold, and traded on the black market for a few trinkets? That's kind of what this feels like to me. It feels like you already had a plan in motion because if you look at this, the imagery behind this card, there's a seed sown here and it's producing, or eventually it will, but it needs to be nurtured at this time. And that's what this feels like. And I don't know, your lust, like your flesh is warring with your spirit. That's how this feels in regards to finance at this time, right? And your spirit team is warning you too. This comes up, every seem like we do every time we do finances. This comes up, and your spirit team is saying right now the biggest thing that you need to invest in is those things that secure you in the future. Overspending energies out here in these weekend sales or these bargains that you just can't miss. It's like you telling yourself that your future, the plans that you have, don't really matter, and that's what this is. Give me 3 more cards for the divine collective on finances, right? So the biggest thing that's happening right now in your life is you're erasing debt. The debt will always be the debtor will always be a slave to the lender. And like according to Deuteronomy, it's like your spirit team saying you coming out of debt, you're going to be the head and not the tail, the lender and not the borrower. Does that make sense? And this is an aspect of it. You're supposed to be paying things off, paying things down. I know that it's the holiday season and it's a dark winter because they have all of these things going on with the U.S. government and all this type of shit here, but you already made a promise to yourself, and it's like your spirit team is imploring you, is encouraging you to, stick to that promise. It has more to do with you being able to trust your intuition and more to do with you being able to trust yourself than it has to do with money or actual cash. Your future self is counting on you right now, and that's what this feels like. And the more you have this frivolous spending habit, the less you're going to be able to retire and comfortably, like really say, you know what, I don't want to work anymore. I just want to be able to exist. And so that's what your spirit team is wanting you to think about, right? Be careful of not handling your responsibilities. It's my responsibility. Responsibility. I like the energy. It's like your spirit team is saying, stay, keep doing what you said you was gonna do. Some of y'all go ahead and pay that insurance bill. I know you like, man, fuck that insurance. No, pay that insurance bill. Put that a monthly amount or that weekly amount that you said you was gonna put in savings. You know what I mean? I know it's other things going on, or it's that time of the year, but it's a really, really pivotal time for you in your life. Excuse me, personal confirmation, to where you can trust yourself. Okay, you can trust yourself. It's my Responsibility by debt. You're erasing debt right now. You're doing something your future self is gonna thank you for. You are putting yourself in a position to be able to retire. Some of you retire early, retire very comfortably. Think about the long-term goals. Don't lose sight of your long-term goals because of temporary rewards. Because by the time you get to retirement, that thing that you bought on sale is gonna be worthless. So many things to do. So many places. Shout out to Kari from Australia. What part of Australia? Sydney? What part of Australia are you from? The bush? I don't want to use this deck because I haven't used this deck in a while. This deck it tends to be it goes in because you got to read the scriptures at the bottom of the card, but I feel like we need to see what comes out of this deck. It's a good Tuesday. I feel like a lot of y'all been under spiritual attack, been going through a lot of spiritual warfare, girding your loins, so to say, to defend yourself for defense, to fight back, And so let's see what comes out. Angels, archangels, ancestors, and spirit guides, and we should see us walk the highest path out here for the greatest good. Six of Wands is the first card out. And this is like when the walls of Jericho fell, right? When the trumpet sounded, the army shouted, and the sound of the trumpet, and when the men gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed. So everyone charged straight in and took the city. Joshua 6:20, the fall of Jericho. Exactly. A lot of frequency, or like this particular part in the Bible was talking about sound frequency wars, or frequencies, and how it can hurt you, how it can build you up, and how it can tear you down. And that's what this feels like. It feels like Spirit is saying, be thoughtful of your words, be thoughtful of what you're saying, be thoughtful of the frequency that you're emitting, and be aware, not distracted by the frequencies that other people are holding. The soul card energy is out here. There's a lot that you do in regards to defending and overcoming the people, the principalities that want to suppress you. But then there's nothing that you have to do, because all of the children of Israel had to do was be obedient to the instruction of God, and then God took care of the hard work. And that's what this feels like to me. It's a lot about frequency. So they could be saying, what are you listening to? What are you reading? What are you watching on TV? And how is that taking you closer to where you want to go or farther away from it? But overall, I see a victory. This is the Six of Wands. The Seven of Pentacles energy is out here. And a lot of it has to do with endurance, perseverance, like playing the long game. Like, what's the first rule of Zombieland? Cardio, right? Like being able to outlast the competitor. And it feels like this still. Other seed fell on good soil where it produced a crop 160, 30 times what was sown. So it's like this patience that you're cultivating at this time by being obedient to what God is saying. And I really feel like for a lot of you, God is telling you to be like a G in lasagna. Shh, real gangster. Move in silence. And you like, I ain't no punk bitch. You know what I'm saying? You like, shit, I'd give a motherfucker a piece of my mind. And it's just like right now, being obedient to the word of God is how it's important, because they marched around the city for 7 days or something like that, according to the Bible. They marched around the city. They didn't say a word. I think they were playing their instruments or something. But mind you, they wasn't attacking the city or nothing. They were just marching around it. Then at a certain point in time, they screamed. They just started making a lot of noise, and then a certain portion of the city wall fell, and they was able to take over the city. Two of Cups energy is out here. And so if you understand the power that you're working with, like you're co-creating with God, if you understand the power that you're working with, then you're not pressed or you don't feel any pressure by what's coming against you. This was when Joshua, the card says, and Jonathan made a covenant with David because he loved him as himself. So when Jonathan made that covenant with David, he didn't know that at the same time he was making a covenant with God, because God had already told David that you and everything that you love is going to be straight. And it's this type of energy. And this card is now, this is about like the teachers. When the student is ready, the teacher will come. He began to speak boldly in the synagogue. When Priscilla and Aquila heard him, they invited him to their home and explained to him the way of God more adequately. So when you begin to be obedient to what God is telling you, the teacher is going to come. The instructor, the person who you say, I don't really get this part, or I don't really understand this fully, but God, I trust you. God, I believe in you. That teacher is going to come and say, this is how you go farther in what God is telling you to do. This is what I'm tapped into. I see a victory for you. Three of Pentacles energy is out here. I don't see it happen. Seven plus three Pentacles is 10 Pentacles. I don't see it happening in the time frame that you expect it to. But this is about obedience. This is about you learning how to. This is about you realizing. This is about you being able to identify the things of God. So you're going to be obedient to God, and then God is going to make the walls of Jericho fall. You might not know what to do when the walls of Jericho fall, and just like that, a teacher will come and show you exactly how to take over the city. When the student is ready, the teacher will come, but God will know that you're ready until you operate in your obedience. This is what I'm tapped into. Like, I ain't gotta see what's ahead of me, God, if I know you right here with me. You know, when the disciples was on the boat with Jesus, and it was a storm and it was a tempest, and they said the storm was rocky and the rough, and they woke Jesus up and they said, "You not scared? You don't feel the storm?" And he said, "Oh, you ain't got that kind of faith. It's this type of energy." And Spirit is like, do you have that kind of faith to be obedient, to be silent when I'm telling you to be silent, to move when I'm telling you to move, to go the long way when I'm telling you to go the long way, and then that's learned, that's lessons in that shit. Because you say, oh, that's why God wanted me to be quiet, because this information was gonna come out, or they thought I was gonna say, "Oh, you gonna get it." It's gonna be lessons that don't need an instructor, and this is what I'm tapped into. When the student is ready, you see teachers everywhere. That's what this feels like to me. Four of Pentacles energy is out here with the King of Wands. And so just like David had to trust in the promises of God, even when Saul, Jonathan's father, was attacking him, and he was still able to make a covenant with Jonathan and say, I never betray you. Despite the siege that he was under, the powers and the principalities that was at war with him, it's like God is asking you to trust. And right now, be consistent, be determined, persevere, but be silent. That's what this feels like to me. It's at the bottom of the deck. That's how God is going to be able to move through you and operate inside of you and show that real G. You know, that heavenly G. You know, like that Masonic G. It's this card says Two of Wands energy is out here. Elijah went before the people and said, "How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him." And Two of Wands energy, because this was in the Bible when God told Elijah to pour all of that water on the fire, whatever it is, and the other people was like proving that their gods were powerful by lighting fires that were hot, and they would burn this and they would burn through that. And then he poured all kinds of water on the fire first, and then the lightning bolt came down from heaven and lit his thing on fire. And so it's like, are you going to be obedient to God when God is telling you to do, even when it doesn't seem likely, or do you trust more in what the world is trying to show you? I am so grateful for every opportunity that you give me to share the gift. I always hope I'm saying something very much, something that helps. My intentions are to create conditions that promote health, wealth, and abundance. I do that by helping others to overcome the pitfalls that I've landed in. So if I'm saying something that helps y'all, double tap the screen and share the live so we can share the love. Leave me a like if you haven't already. You deleted John because he said cast a spell? I don't know. I don't think that's whatever. Angels, archangels, ancestors, and spirit guides, we should see us walk the highest path ahead for the greatest good. I don't know if that's necessary. So like, let little John make it. Let little John make it. A lot of spirituality is curiosity. And so before a person, people go through cognizant dissonance. And before a person can accept the fact that their mind is trying to show them that something is real, they'll reject it or they'll question it. They mock it before they mimic it. Right. And so that's usually what happens. You'll get those people that are like skeptical. But if it's just curiosity, or if it's just like a little nagging, like a child, like a little nagging, they just curious. They don't know that they're curious, and that could be aggravating. But let them come. Let them investigate. Blow their mind. What is the most important message for the divine collective? Toxic love. Ugh, shit. I've been tapped into that all day though. I tapped into the energy and I had to post a message before I came live today that was like, they want to see you in shambles. They're not just going to leave you alone. They're not just going to leave you alone. They're going to keep that on and off or back and forth, or if the door is open, or if there is some type of like, to me energetically it feels like I'm not gonna see you drown. I don't want to see you desolate. I don't want to be with you romantically, but I don't want to see you hurting or harm, right? And it's like that little door, that little foothold that this type of entity, right? They dealing with spirits, right? Powers and principalities, they let it control them. Inner child energy is out here, and it's that Pollyanna spirit, that, idea that you don't want to leave somebody behind, or you don't want to leave a person in a desolate place, a marine type of spirit, because leave it better than you found it. But at the same time, this thing is like trying to poison you. That's what this feels like. And inner child energy is out here with side hustle. I feel like it's taking you out of your authentic energy. I wanted to say that it's putting you in a hyper masculine energy, whatever that looks like for you. And you could be disregarding it, self-made hustle mode, right? What does it say? Side hustle, self-made, the letter S showing up significantly. Like you could be disregarding this. It feels anal to me, but it's like, I gotta get this done. I gotta get this done. More likes, more comments, more orders, more, whatever. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. It's putting you in that type of job because you don't want to pay attention to this like part that hurts, because you tried to love from a sincere place. And I'm a little bit nervous about it, because I feel like if you keep having a door open or leaving a foothold for the devil to get in, then ultimately what it's going to do is like slowly but surely eat away at your foundation like a termite would, right? So by the time you realize you have a termite infestation, likely your foundation is chewed, right? That's what this feels like. Crossroads energies out here. So there's this, point that you're at. But a lot about this position that you're in is going to take you gaining perspective about how something has you in this hyper masculine, hyper independent space. And then, is that where you want to be? Is that balance, or is that what you're actually trying to create, or is it something different? That's what this feels like. Toxic love energies out here with friend zone, and this idea that this motherfucker still getting access to you is like slowly but surely poisoning you. And I get it, right? You're a hopeless romantic. Thank you, spirit. You want to leave it where you found it, or you have this idea of TV, like romance, like serendipitous shit. Like they'll come around, they'll change one day, they'll come with a bouquet of flowers and say, "It's you, honey. It's always been you. I don't know, Stella!" Right? But this ain't fucking TV. This is your real life. That's what this feels like. Divine intervention, right? And I feel like a lot of success is here, a lot of abundance and a lot of prosperity, but there's also this slow but steady infection that's necessary, that's like affecting the foundation. And if you don't become aware of it and how it's putting you in this hyper independent mode, it'll take over before you realize it. That's what I'm tapped into. So side piece. As long as you leave a foothold open for this spirit, then they're going to try to take advantage of you. They're not going to leave you alone. They want to see you in shambles. And a lot of times they want to see you in shambles because everything that they've said to their side piece, or everything that they said to the other person, has to be true. They can't leave you, Shayla, my Shayla. They can't leave you alone. They can't leave you alone, and you okay, and then you go on and you be better than them, or you go on and you establish your empire, and you get to this influencer status, and you got all these, like, they can't leave you alone like that. No, when they leave you alone, they can't leave this ideal version of you alone. They have to leave you alone when you in the dirt, when you down and you dirty, because that's what makes the most sense, and that's what this feels like. So be aware, don't ignore it. No, like, you remember a street cart named Stella? Because I'm older. I'm old, y'all. Either way it go, they used to have this stage play. It was called a streetcar named Stella. And the guy was like, he was abusive. But either way it go, he was in love with this girl, and he was like, Stella, Stella! Because she had got on the streetcar and she was going on about her life, baby. She ain't had time for his crazy ass. That's when he wanted to get it right? Like, when she was on the streetcar and she was on going up the street, now you want to call the name down, is that type of energy. I am so grateful for the opportunity to share the gift. I always hope I'm saying something that helps. Y'all double tap that screen, share the live so we can share this love. We watched in middle school with so much toxicity, bro. Yeah. Angels, archangels, ancestors, and spirit guides that we should see us walk the highest path out here for the greatest good. Ah, real monsters. This is the energy of somebody thinking that you could be bought, sold, and traded on the black market for a few trinkets. They think that you will compromise your morals and your integrities for the right price. People like that are like that because they like that. They think you like that because they like that. And that's what this is. Marrying for money would dust it off. They feel like, oh, it's only a certain amount. Like, all we got to do is figure out what their price is. All we got to do is figure out how much money or what incentives they would like to have in order for their little morals and their little integrity, your little integrity and your little morals to come crumbling down. Not everybody can be bought, sold, and traded. This is what I'm tapped into. Bad habits. You might find that people bring up your past. You might find that these people try to put you in a compromised position, threatening. Energy is out here with bad habits. I can feel the energy, moving energy is out here. Marrying for money, the letter M is coming up significantly. Talking shit, they might try to create a narrative or character assassinate in order to try to get you, to agree, to compromise your morals, to compromise your integrity. That's what this feels like. Clout hungry. They do anything for clout. They do anything for clout. I channeled that message recently too, where they are wanting to get in. They'll even get into it with you. It's not about being correct. Being in competition with you validates them. It's like that's the way that they can be seen as somebody who is on your level without having to do the work. If you going back and forth with somebody on the internet, people on the internet don't know that that person didn't graduate high school or hasn't done any study to be qualified. They only know that they're coming against you. Now here you are, well studied. You've done the work. You've done the research. You have the credentials that say that you're qualified. You going back and forth with somebody who could be, a part of a phone farm in Asia somewhere. Not even a real person, a bot. You get what I'm saying? Be careful of who you giving this type of energy to because it gives them validation. It makes them seem credible. It gives them the same silence, boy. Not ignoring a weak ass bitch. Now that says a lot. You know what I mean? I'm not finna go back and forth with you because you're not on my level. Who are you, right? You this type of energy, travel energies out here. So I see you moving around. You know what that mean? Move around, clown. That means shit. I don't gotta be. I don't have to be. I don't have to take this. I'm going home. Inside scoop energies out here. And so the longer you stick in a situation or stick to a situation, you can have integral means like I don't want them to make me quit. You have to understand that they are thinking that the money is motivating you and they're trying to find out what the cost is to get you to compromise. That's what you need to know at this time. Ever grateful for the opportunity to share the gift. I always hope I'm saying something that helps. Thank y'all so much for tapping in, tuning in, and turning up. I appreciate your time. Time is a very precious resource, something that you don't easily get back. So every moment that we exchange with one another, I want you to know that I appreciate you, and I hope I'm saying something that helps. Let's get into love for singles. What do my singles need to know most to walk the highest path for the greatest good? Aaron, don't close my door and go sit down. Angels, archangels, ancestors, and spirit guides that we should see us walk the highest path out here for the greatest good. What do my singles need to know most to walk the highest path for the greatest good? Came up here and doing his little dancey dance. Well, go on now. Unavailable. That's been coming up a lot like this week, especially for my singles. It has to do with being emotionally unavailable. Truthfully, you want a relationship because it looks good on paper. You want the relationship because you want somebody to go out with or you want somebody to be alone with, right? But then when there are people who impede on your space or who, like, let's say you want to go to this restaurant and they go want to go to this restaurant or they dress inappropriately for the occasion, the idea of relationships looks good on paper. In practice, in theory, right? In practice, it's not the same thing, right? Because people are individuals, they have their own thoughts, their own ideas, their own emotions, they're individuals, right? And so it looks good because on paper, or in theory, you think this person is opposable, they're a doll. I can take them with me like a teddy bear, move them how I want to move. But then in real life, people want to do what they want to do. And I just feel like the most powerful path forward in regards to really preparing yourself for a relationship is to deal with that aspect of yourself. Because a part of relationship, tribe, community, connection is aggravation and annoyance. Sometimes that person is gonna get on your nerves. And this, I'm talking to somebody who likes the idea of relationship in theory. But if I was to say, well, okay, your perfect partner is coming. They're coming tomorrow. They're gonna move in with you. What, move in with me? They're gonna move in with you, and you have to take out half of the clothes out of your closet. You also have to remove half of your furniture because they're bringing some of theirs, right? Yeah. The way you go to bed at night, around 7 p.m. you start shutting down. You do your facial routine. Da 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 da. You can't do that anymore because now they're there and they're in the way of what their normal routine is. It's like there's this kind of acceptance or resolution that you have to make in your mind about what companionship is on a practical level because you like the theory of it. That's how this feels, mixed signals. And that's why when you get in relationships where you're dating people or you're getting to know people, it becomes very critical, criticizing and mixed signals because it's like, oh, there's a festival, there's a pumpkin patch. Let's go to the pumpkin patch. Okay, yay. Then when they come up, why did you wear that? I wanted to take pictures, whatever it is like that, right? And so something is very, very ideal in theory, but you have to think about it how it'll be in a practice. And I think that's like self shit. Before you can meet somebody, you have to say, okay, they might, so you have to prepare for that type of thing. Communication is key. Setting boundaries and setting standards and understanding things in the beginning, not taking a long time to have difficult conversations, but especially divine one, not taking a long time to have this difficult conversation with yourself. Hard to get energies out here with unavailable, mixed signals energies out here with criticizing because I feel like theoretically you want a relationship. But then if I say, well, okay, I'm coming over there, and then I come over there and I take my shoes off, you say, well, you take your shoes off, you come to my house. I say, okay, and then my socks dirty, and you like, I know damn well. Why the fuck would you put dirty shoes in? Why would you put dirty socks in shoes? And it's just different people, right? And then getting ready to be around different people and understand people's quirks and give people time to kind of shift and mold and accommodate, and understanding that you too will shift and mold and accommodate. And in a lot of the ways that you're strict with yourself, you might become lax when you move into connection. And is that really what you want? Excuses. I don't know. I feel like I'm talking to somebody who's you're hyper focused right now. You have goals you'd like to attain, financial goals, lifestyle goals. One thing that I know about going through changes, like a butterfly, like a caterpillar in a cocoon. It comes out a butterfly. It's not the same. So if I marry you when I'm a caterpillar, and then I go into my cocoon and I come out a butterfly, I'm a butterfly married to a caterpillar. And so there's this internal dialogue that you have to take serious. And if like practically, it isn't practical for you to be in a relationship, then think about that. Get into your butterfly wings. Learn how to fly. Understand the movement out of this caterpillar stage before you go looking for bondage. Because whether we like it or not, relationships are bonds. That's why you call it, I bonded with this person, right? Relationships are bonds. It's a type of bondage. And if you're not ready to be tied down, that's okay. We live in a physical world and they push that shit down your throat. Why? Because sex sells. So they need you to want to get married, or they need you to want a relationship, because then they can tell you you need to go on a couples cruise, or you need to read this couples book, or whatever it is like that, right? Sex sells, but do you really need it? Do you need this relationship in spite of self neglect? Like, are you going to neglect yourself for this relationship? Are you in a position mentally, emotionally, financially to neglect yourself for a relationship? Because that is bondage. And so I think that there's a hard conversation to have with yourself, being needy energy out here with lone wolf, and not fearing loneliness, but really, really understanding interdependence. You really have to understand interdependence in order to be able to find healthy connections. Not independence, interdependence. Okay? Unworthy. And until then, either you're going to feel like you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't see your value, or you're going to feel like you're in a relationship with somebody or vice versa. They don't see your value, or you can't see theirs. And it'll always be one or the other. So I feel like you're in a butterfly, you're a caterpillar in a cocoon, and you're working towards your butterfly stage. Is it really a good time to try to find a connection, or is it better to learn how to flap your wings, right? She said we can maybe live next door to each other. That's too fucking close. Get your ass back. Hell no. You don't need to live next door to me. You don't need to live next door to me. What? Why? For what reason? On what? On what? Why would that? No. No. Is it living on that stuff? Let's do some collective messages. Thank y'all so much for tapping in, tuning in, and turning up. I appreciate your time. Time is a very precious resource, something that you don't easily get back. So every moment that we exchange with one another, I want you to know that I appreciate you, and I hope I'm saying something that helps. If I am, leave a like, subscribe, and share this with somebody who needs this type of daily motivation. Okay, and we're gonna start with Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. We're going to start off with the Earth, baby, with the Earth Angels, and see what do our Earth Angels need to know most to walk the highest path out here for the greatest good. Angels, archangels, ancestors, and spirit guides that wish to see us walk the highest path out here for the greatest good. What is the most important message? Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, six angel number. It's been showing up a lot, especially with Capricorn, the Devil card, or Capricorn energy. Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles. The Six of Swords is a bridge over troubled water. The Six of Pentacles it's like cast your bread upon the waters, and after many days, it will return to you. That's what this is. This is the things that you do for people that you just are doing from the kindness of your heart will return to you multiplied. The Three of Wands energy is out here, and it may not return in the same body. It may not return from the same person, but the energy, boomerang energy, and it's been showing up a lot for the collective Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The energy that you send out will come back to you multiplied. That's what this feels like. It's a verse in the Bible that says, "Cast your bread upon the water." It just means that the good things that you do, and you could be doing it for the goodness of your heart. You're not necessarily doing it because you think something is going to be returned to you. But you're like, I can help this person in this way. Let me help this person in this way. It comes back to you. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, who do they need to know most? Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. Knight of Cups. This is a message to remind my earth angels that a lot of people always want to know how, like, why are you so blessed? How you get that job? How you get to live in that neighborhood? How that you got that bank to approve that loan? Girl, they gave you that car. And people want to know. Look at the genie in the lamp. People want to know how. Look at the eye of God watching over you. Say, how do you, man? It just seems like things are going in your favor. And all around the world, you could be in a different country traveling. And somebody see you and they say, oh, I just want to give you this. Try this. They speak a whole other language. They don't even speak your language. They see you and they say, here, you don't even speak the same language, but you can understand that they want to give you a blessing. It's because of the good shit that you do. And I feel like people be calling you crazy. I feel like people be like, why you need that for them? They be talking about you. Whatever it is like that. And people don't know when they don't understand. The Knight of Cups energy is out here. That shit temporary. You heard me? King of Wands energy is out here with the strength card. That the abundance and the prosperity, the unmerited favor, the grace of God that's bestowed and obvious in your life, it comes from the time when nobody was looking and nobody's watching and you still had integrity. That's what this feels like to me. So those times when you feel like nobody's looking and nobody's watching, I don't know if you can see the eye. You see this eye right here? I don't know if you think nobody's looking and nobody's watching, but God is. And if you pay attention in your life to all of that unmerited favor, you say, well, why that person wanted to bless me? Or why they gave me that? Or whatever it is like that. It's because of the good things that you do. So whenever you second guess or you question or people try to get you to question about the good things that you do for other people, just because that's the type of person you are, know that it comes back to you manifold. That's what this is. The Magician card. People say, man, how you got that house? How you got that job? They sold you that car. That's what this is. I am so grateful for the opportunity to share the gift. Y'all got quiet. Why y'all got so quiet down there? Y'all don't leave me a like. Let me know you in here or something. Y'all got quiet. That's how them people be getting them blessings. Shamika? Huh? That's how you get them blessings, huh? KT? And ain't it? Ain't it? So don't let nobody make you feel no type of way, because it's been situations and circumstances that you know you wasn't supposed to make it out of, that you made it out of with just a drop of water rolled off your back. A little dap, nothing, not even a slap on the wrist, just a tap on the finger. You understand what I'm saying? And you know that. And that was God's unmerited favor from the time when you chose to bless his children. When you didn't look at the fact that the person was homeless, when you didn't look at the fact that the person wasn't all the way mental, you didn't judge nobody. You say, I can help this person, I'm gonna help them. You got quiet. I just noticed. Who turn it is? Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. My airheads, I love you. My airheads, I love you so much. So sweet and stretchy. Some lotion on my head. Air signs, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. What is the most important message for Libra, Aquarius, Gemini? What does Libra, Aquarius, Gemini need to know most to walk the highest path for the greatest good? Angels, archangels, ancestors, and spirit guides. Empress energy, okay. Right on that, cusp. This is Taurus, Libra energy. Empress energy is out here with Eight of Swords. This has been coming up a lot. Mommy issues, subconscious programming. Empress energy, Eight of Swords. The value, the worth, what you think you deserve. It's like there are blockages right now in your mind in regards to what you think you deserve. You're at this point, you're at this precipice where the work that you have been doing is affording you expansion. Beautiful, beautiful energy. But sometimes we can self-sabotage. And I want you to be very aware of, I want you to develop a deep understanding of what self-sabotage can look like in a practical way, because that's what this is in these cards. It is Four of Pentacles energies out here, right? You could expand. Look at all that room back there, with the space and opportunity back there. And, Empress energy with the Four of Pentacles. This is the minor arcana emperor. If you think of Empress energy as a creative source, then the emperor would be the logic, will, and order that to put the plan into action. And so there's this little minor arcana emperor in regards to your major arcana empress. Eight of Swords energies out here. And that comes from subconscious programming in regards to what you believe you deserve. And a lot of times that shit happens at 0 to 8. You just got to become aware of what was put into you and then change it if you want it to be better. You can sit up there and groan and moan about what your mama did or didn't do, or daddy did or didn't do, or you can say, damn, that's affecting me today. I want to change that. It's this type of energy, death and rebirth. But I like the energy. Five of Pentacles energies out here with the Four of Pentacles. That's Nine of Pentacles. It's just that subconscious programming, like the networking, the investments, the banking, right? Like you would go to the bank and you would get a loan, and you would say, this here's my business plan, and I want to do this business, I want to do this with my business, and they would say, okay, that seems plausible, and they would give you the money, and you would expand your business, but you're okay with your little mom and pop or your small time setup, but that not acting on these things that could allow you to expand, it comes from mommy issues and wounds, and your spirit team is wanting to talk about that. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, air signs, airhead, Ace of Swords energies out here, because you have the mind, and the thing about it is you also have like the resources or something like that. Like you have the creative ideas, you have the capacity is the perfect word, but it's like you're not operating in it in subconscious programming. It's like this is good enough. I don't need all of that. You might watch video, imagine watching a video of a luxury home tour, and they have the ceiling and the the water comes from the ceiling to bench. You go, I don't need all that. The first thing you say out your mind when you see these luxurious experiences, somebody driving down Sunset Boulevard with their top down and their, designer bags. I don't need all that. I'd be happy with just my It's that. It's that little spirit that when those possibilities of that potential is open to you, you say, I don't need all that. I'll just stay here. I'll just stay back here, and you need to do some shadow work around that air babies. That's what I'm tapping into. 4 wands energy is out here because you deserve 4 wands, 4 pentacles. We talked about emperor, 444 angel number, right? Because you deserve that and beyond, exceedingly and abundantly above what you can conceive. And so, if you seeing this, not only do you deserve it, but you deserve more. This is what I'm tapped into. 7 of wands energy is out here, but that little, it's so subtle. It's subtle, but it creates a big barrier and a big blockage in regards to you manifesting because you can see, like, what's your dream car or what's your dream house? Some of you might not even have a dream car. You're like, oh, as long as my shit run and get me from point A to point B, I'm good, right? But you deserve to think big, and that's what this feels like. Nine of Swords energy is out here, and it feels like when you, it feels like when you start thinking big, you say, "Oh no!" And I don't know if it's the voice of your mother or the voice of your absence of your mother that says, "No, get your snap back to reality." Snap back to reality. It's like this idea of you don't want to go up too high because you're afraid that you'll fall. But what if you go up so high you start to float? What if you go up so high you learn to fly? And that's what this feels like, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Nine of Wands energy is out here. There's only one way to find out. But until we get rid of that little subtle voice in your head that silences your brightest ideas, it's going to be difficult for you to manifest some abundance. But heavy on, mommy issues. I am so grateful for the opportunity to share the gift. I always am saying something that helps. Shantae, was that Shantae or Shamika? I am so grateful for your generosity. I sincerely appreciate the love and support. I always hope I'm saying something that helps. And I really hope that that message opens up the portals to powers that you need. Because I know for me, I can resonate with that. In that there could be so much expansion just with tarot on decks. And I'm like, oh, right. And it's that type of energy that you got to break through. But it can only happen when you catch yourself, saying, "Oh no, just give me a regular, degular," and your spirit team is saying, "No, I want to give you the best." Okay, we're gonna do um, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What is the most important message? What is the most important message for my divine collective? What do you need to know most to walk your highest path for your greatest good? Star card. Exceedingly and abundantly above what you ask or think. This is what we were just talking about. Ace of Swords energy is out here. Like fire energy is like determination. It's like fire energy is like burning through obstacles kind of energy, like a fireball, right? It needs to be organized, right, like a torch, so that the flame is directed only at what you want, so that the fire doesn't get out of hand. But it's the type of destruction that, if controlled, can give you the space and the opportunity that you need to rebuild something or create space to build something. Ace of Swords energy is out here with the Star card. Knight of Cups energy is out here with the Ace of Cups. Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups, Star card. The thing about the Knight of Cups is I'm here for a good time, not a long time, right? And so there's this lack of like determination, push through, the fiery energy that's kind of creating an impediment for you at this time. Eight of Pentacles, as I'm saying that, you gotta stick to it. Like at this time, your most powerful path is gonna be stick to itness. The Fool card energy is out here. The biggest, like, spirit that you're warring with is the spirit that the grass might be greener on the other side. But what if it's greener on the other side? And what if it's greener on the other side? And then what if it's greener on the other side? But what if the grass could be greener right where you are if you were just to water it? A Two of Wands energy is out here, but this grass is greener on the other side, and this constantly exploring of other options is what's stopping you from realizing and recognizing that what you have right now in your hand, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, could be exceedingly and abundantly above what you ask or think. It just needs nurturing. It's like to the salon. It just needs a little work. It just needs a little attention. It just needs a little love. The grass is not greener on the other side. In fact, it's greener where you water it. So you have to water this. And if you water this, you'll see the promises of God come through, right? You see this wilderness back here, right? You'll see the forest grow. That's what this feels like to me. If you stick to it. Nine of Swords energy is out here. A lot of you are gifted. You have spiritual gifts, talents, and abilities, but a lot of times you try to numb it. You might feel like you're anxious, or you might try to you might think that you're just talking to yourself in your head and don't recognize that that voice is outside of you. But if you were to tap into the power of that voice that's always in your head, you will be able to overcome and surmount many of these obstacles. Page of Cups energy is out here. Page of Cups, Knight of Cups is your most powerful tool in your repertoire. It's like to be able to stick to something. Consistency. You have to burn through, like with a channeled Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy by channeling your impulses and your compulses in regards to the things that you'd like to see manifest. You need to break through the things that you feel like are holding you back. It's going to be concentration. Concentrated effort is how you break through. That's what this feels like. It's at the bottom of the deck. Four of Cups, as I'm saying it. It's like concentration. Ever grateful for the opportunity to share the gift. I always hope I'm saying something that helps. You guys are awesome and amazing. I am so grateful for your generosity. I sincerely appreciate the love and support. Save the best for last, face ass. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Water babies. What do you need to know most? Fireballs, airheads, earth angels, and water babies. What do my water babies need to know most? The Three of Pentacles energy is out here with the Six of Swords. It's like, I'm trying to find the best way to explain it. They said you don't want to go to work, but you want to go be with that person who won't pay you. It's this type of energy though. Like, why wouldn't you want to do this? I think a lot of times we miss out on spiritual warfare when it shows up in our day-to-day life. But a common example of spiritual warfare is that feeling when your alarm goes off and you don't want to get up. That is spiritual warfare, because that feeling of not wanting to get up and go do the things that can actually help you accomplish your goals is the actual devil, is an actual demon trying to push you back into sleep, trying to suppress you, to like impede your creativity. That's what's going on. Three of Swords energy is out here with the Three of Pentacles. Why don't you want to go and do this thing? Have you ever stopped and asked yourself and really contemplated, why don't you want to get up and go to work in the morning? Right? Why don't you want to get up and do the things that can help you to overcome your situations and circumstances? Where is that coming from? What is that feeling that happens in your sacral chakra, that happens in your root chakra when it's time to do something? Have we ever paid attention to it? Is it your natural state of being, or is it spiritual? That's what this feels like to me, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, because in your mind, like the way that you plan life, you definitely want some type of substantial amount of comfort, luxury, or whatever it is like that. But then when it's time for you to do what it takes, 6, 7, 8, 9 swords, three of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. But then when it's time to do what it takes, there's this, lack of motivation. It's executive dysfunction. And I feel like it could be spiritual. Maybe you go to the doctor, you say, hey, maybe you have executive dysfunction. They give you some Lexapro, you go, life is great after that. But if not, if you've gone to the doctor, they say, ain't nothing wrong with you, you straight, and you still feel this lack of motivation, this anxious or depressed feeling around doing what you know you need to do to overcome the challenges that you face in your life, then maybe, perhaps it's spiritual. And when you start dealing with the powers and the principalities, like God told you in the Bible, you ain't battling against no flesh and blood. You don't got nothing to do with no mental issues. It is your powers and principalities is spiritual. That's what this is. The world card. Then you'll be able to overcome. You got a 333 angel number. Three of Swords, Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and the world card is 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. 333 angel number energies out here. So there's a lot of support. There are systems and structures in place to help you manifest and materialize the desires that you have. But when it's time for you, it's like there's anguish. Is the word. It's like you feel distraught. You'll get over there, you'll get up and go over there and cupcake with that person who ain't paying you. But when it's time to get up and go to work, you don't want to do that. And that don't make sense. And even when you say it out loud like that, it don't make sense. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not judging you. Why? I want you to think about why it's like that. And then that's where we can find a solution. That's what this feels like. Because when you say, okay, well, maybe I didn't get enough rest. Okay, then you can start to create a bedtime routine. Well, maybe I don't like the feeling that happens when I wake up. So you can create a morning routine that makes you excited about waking up. But paying attention to that feeling is how you're going to be able to cultivate this thing. That's what I'm tapped into. 333 angel number, chess, not checkers, Page of Pentacles. And then you'll learn your rhythms. You'll learn your circadian rhythms. You'll learn how you are and how you need to be so that you can manifest and materialize this luxury. You want luxury, but you don't like doing the thing that's going to help you get toward this luxurious outcome. And doing some spiritual work, some shadow work on that is imperative at this time. Water babies, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of Pentacles. Like I said, going toward luxury, wanting to create a different lifestyle, and not wanting to do the thing that could make you luxurious, that's not the same thing then, is it? And so figuring out where that little feeling comes in at, that executive dysfunction, where you know what you need to do, but you're not doing it, and then praying on it. Prayprey, choose your term. That's going to be your most powerful path forward. I am just a vessel, grateful for the opportunity to share the gift. I always hope I'm saying something that helps you guys. Let's do one more message for the collective before we go. So I hope I see you tomorrow. I hope you come in tomorrow to do another daily check-in. I appreciate you. Let's see what emotions are riding high. Thank you. I really like what you done to me. This to fucked up over you makes me feel like there's a deeper understanding. Like stay woke, bloom, 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 bloom. And you realize that the feeling that this person feels whenever there's separation between the two of you is not that they fucked up over you, even though that's what you thought, that they were feeling sad or distraught because they lost a good person, or but because they lost access to the benefit that comes from you. So you say, "What? This person is not sad because they hurt me. They're sad because of what they're going to lose out on." That's what it feels like, and it feels like you're coming out of a cycle. You're coming out of a long cycle where somebody wasn't necessarily fucked up over you. They were fucked up because they were losing access to what comes with you, and you get it now. You get it now, and a lot of the things that they were doing, like they were just mirroring your behaviors to gain access to the abundance and prosperity and the blessings and protection that comes your way. Drinking and toxic lifestyle. I'm talking to a group of divine ones who you're severing your ties with a toxic lifestyle. You can't just sever your ties with this person if y'all always drink together. Then not drinking is going to be imperative. Did you take where you got this leaf from?
From my grandma.
You went outside and I told you not to.
Apollo's about to go
So
up.
no, don't. You always call Apollo's name when you're caught doing something wrong. It's not Apollo. It's Aaron.
I got this from Bush.
Come inside and close my door.
I'm in. I am
My
in.
door closed and locked.
Apollo's about to get
Don't tell Apollo. Don't go outside.
He's about to go outside in the patio.
Go lock my front door.
I can go outside in the front door.
Karmic lesson. There are no losses, only lessons. It's sometimes we go through difficult experiences. Those experiences help us to gain perspective. Maybe they don't turn out the way we expected them or desired or would have preferred them to turn out, but it's not a loss. It's a lesson. And if you could take the information derived from that experience and practically apply it to your life, you won't have to find yourself in those difficult circumstances again. And that's what this is. It's not a loss, it's a lesson. It's not a loss, it's a lesson. You're gonna go ghost on somebody. Real gangsters move in silence. And it's not because you don't love them. Yeah, but I see you leaving somebody hanging. I feel like you can't leave yourself hanging any longer for this type of connection. Because you've been leaving yourself on red, leaving yourself hanging, giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. And you get it now. And now that you get it, you're gonna apply the information that you've collected from this lesson, and you don't need any closure. There is pure understanding. And from this point, you can make a decision that's going to put yourself in the position to be on the most powerful path moving forward. Push and pee, push and pee, push and pee. Earlier in the session, we had this empress came out. She was the empress and she didn't have an emperor. She didn't have her divine masculine energy. And I talked about divine masculine being logic, will, and order. And here, the last card and spread for this daily check-in is the divine masculine. And so it's that logic and will and that order that's applied to your creative ideas that you're embodying at this time, right? And so everything that happened before now, it was not a loss. It was all necessary for you to procure the information that you need to go forward and be powerful. I love you so much. I am so grateful for the opportunity to share the gift. I always hope I'm saying something that helps. I hope I see you tomorrow. If you're ever interested in getting a private and personal reading, you should check out my website. It's www.tarotondex.com, or you can use my link tree. The link tree is /tarotondex.com. Again, I hope I see you tomorrow for our daily check in. And until we meet again, be powerful on purpose.